With us on Big Fast Love, Dorsey. What's up? How you feeling today?
I'm good. What's up with y'all?
Every day we
Man,
blessed.
we are great.
We
I'm
blessed.
to be here. Y'all do y'all thing. And I love y'all talk about anything.
Oh, that's what we doing today, though.
Here.
This gonna be one of them conversations we just let you know. So we hope you brought your energy.
It's on me.
Yeah.
It's in me.
I want
I
to start like shouts to K Dub. When K Dub was here, we was asking him like, what's the problem with niggas, right? And he kind of attributed it to niggas and fatherhood and not having fathers and all that type of shit. So I think you're the perfect person to ask, like, what do you think is the problem with African American women? Black women.
I'm talking about he jumping right in.
We got to get to it.
If you don't know, I'm the one that I keep pushing on our people for us to accept the logic, the facts that single mother households produce the worst fucking product. Now you could say it like that, or I could dress it up where females won't get offended, and I could say fatherlessness is the biggest issue in our community with women and raising children, and then it spews into the dating pool. So for me, when you ask what's up with us nowadays, fatherlessness coming from these single mother households, and even if you didn't directly come from one, they lead, when we talk about low income, they lead the opinion leaders in our community. They are, you know what I'm saying? They the voice in the hood. The mamas that's raising the babies by themselves with no daddies around. Like that's who's leading right now in regards to, you know, what the children are taught. So now you're looking at a adult generation that came from a lot of fatherlessness, a lot of women, female headed households.
Let me ask you this.
It's a problem.
I have a question. I'm gonna let you finish, but once you get done with that, I want you to touch on whether or not you think that single mothers get offended about their lack of ability because they are female and because they are emotional.
I feel like they get offended because they triggered and can't manage their emotions. The offense comes from, and let me take a step back, right? You can't receive information if you in your feelings.
Facts. At all.
How you hear shit depends on your temperament and your energy.
Yes.
So off top, if you defensive, if you feel some type of way, if you got these traumas on you that you haven't seen about with yourself,
you're not gonna hear it with the right ear
at all. And you're gonna come at the conversation, or you're gonna come at the information listening with your inner child, your insecurities, the stuff that you know you dead wrong for, that shame and guilt, you know, won't let you stand on. You know what I mean? So when it comes to us, it's a struggle to just receive the information. And then outside of that, we struggle with accountability. Like, I'll be the first female to say it. Like, when you put women alongside men, women have a real fucking problem with being accountable.
Shit, I ain't gotta say shit there. Go ahead, man. Hell your business. Hey, nah, but how did you tap into that? Because you weren't always this mindset, right? How did you tap into your right mindset?
So let me say this. Like, growing up, I was a nerd in school, right? And then when I jumped into young adulthood, I was in the streets. So I went from being in the books to now being in the streets.
By personal choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic environment.
Okay.
When I'm big on the way your life look and the shit you go through is based on your choices. So I don't put shit on anything else. But environment plays a big role in the choices that we are, you know, able to choose from.
Exactly.
So environment played a role in it, but I jumped in the streets, and then, you know, from being intelligent in the books, but then also being street smart, and then being able to be that homegirl to a lot of street niggas. Like, there was a lot of shit said and done in front of me to where it molded my perspective differently than
that's
just
hard. That's
the
hard.
feelings. You see a lot of shit sitting in the trap with niggas that they ain't trying to fuck on you. You like, bro, you know what I'm saying?
But you still get to hear they
yes,
say in front of you. So it help you get it like, damn, these niggas, we do these niggas to the point that these niggas would want to be a good nigga, but I can't due to the fact of the shit you done showed me. That's 100%. Cold right there, right?
It is. And the thing about it is, my platform, like, I give so much game that help females, but the whole emotional side, they can't see through, you know, feeling some type of way because I said something about the state of parenting in our community when we talk about, you know, a certain demographic with us. They can't hear past that. So then it just turns into offense. You know, you typing paragraphs, you in your feelings, but it ain't hard to look around. I mean, you know, a lot of what men struggle with nowadays as a grown man, being able to try to manage your emotions, and, you know, a lot of what women struggle with in relationships where you want a nigga to be, you know, head of household, but you can't, you know, it's a power struggle. You don't know how to be feminine. You don't know how to, you know, be in that role once you make it home.
And you also, and it's another thing too, I think, with that whole situation with like being the head of household and all that, is that a lot of women lack the proper skills to be the foundation for that man to be that head.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kick it to y'all blood raw. Like in a lot of other cultures, they're raising their girls to be women.
Caterers.
Feminine, nurturers, to embody everything about us, even that emotional side, to learn how to use that intuition as a way to be valuable to a family unit, right?
Right.
We, in our community, we're mothering one another from a space of like, I'm gonna raise my daughter to be independent, right? I'm gonna raise her to do everything for herself, not need a nigga for nothing. But you know, our biology as human beings, especially as women, we're wired for companionship. Like it's in our DNA, in our biology. So when I see people that be talking about, you know, I'm independent, I'm gonna be by myself, fuck these niggas, they ain't shit. You going against your nature. Like, regardless of what you want to say online or what you want to say to us, there is something in you that's going to pull you towards companionship.
Towards the niggas.
Yeah. And then when you being raised with the programming in the opposite direction, this is when you become psychologically fucked up.
Yes,
That's why we got a lot of mental health issues. Like, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, the males'
like
mental
an internal
health.
struggle.
Yeah. Women need to be honest. We struggling right now psychologically. We are. They showing us how to take advantage of all our new rights, be boss bitches, start businesses, earn all this money, but then you don't know anything about being submissive in your household. Like, you know, men want respect over love any day. Right. So it's like, in order for you to really be that woman in your household, you got to be able to take that hat off at the door from that business. You might be the top realtor. You might have 3-4 salons or got that online hair brand. But can you turn that shit off and be a woman at home? Because a nigga don't give a fuck about you being a boss in the house. Right. Bitch, this nigga done put his mic down. Like, fuck you ain't gonna talk.
Where you think our culture, when that changed though? Like, when you think in Black culture that all changed?
So for me, I mean, I could go way back, but I like to just kind of bring it to a, you know,
both.
Okay, so on the surface level, late 1960s, early 1970s.
When the welfare took the niggas out of houses.
Yes, them fucking welfare programs. And I see so many people trying to rebuttal the fuck out of this online. It is a fact that those programs were set up a certain way to continue with the economically castrating black males, but then also putting our mindset in a space where psychologically we raise our children to not be supportive of the family unit. And when you go all the way back to slavery, like, you know, the number one thing, the way to control a nigga, take the mind, keep the body strong, but take the fucking mind. They'll work hard towards your agenda without thinking twice about what the hell they doing. And it, you know, really, even when you go back to slavery, it started with females. That's why they took the biggest, strongest male nigga, bring them in front of all the women and kids, beat the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Similar to what we seeing today. When you see niggas being murdered over and over again, they publicizing that. It's everywhere. Police killing niggas killing niggas. It's constantly being put in front of our faces. So you show that this nigga looks strong, but he ain't really strong compared to the system or the white man, so to speak. Just giving you the imagery, right? So then you got mothers raising children based on, you know, let me train my children up. My boys, I'm gonna baby them. I'm gonna, you know, raise them a certain way to
they're basically desensitizing our people to the black male masculinity. And now we used to seeing niggas get fucked up to the point where we okay with fucking niggas up.
We used to seeing niggas not being solid in no capacity of shit. Like niggas get locked up, they tell. You know what I'm saying? Niggas bitching up in all type of ways. So it's like, it's just like, this shit, it's really okay now. Because it's accepted. There's no consequences to this shit.
And if you understand psychology and conditioning, you show a bitch something over and over again enough times, I don't give a fuck who you are. It's going to affect your mind. Me, y'all included. Show a motherfucker with an agenda over and over the same type of shit. We don't even realize we programmed to believe black men ain't shit before you even interact with a black man that ain't shit. It's in your mind. You know what I mean? So you got to...
So look, I don't mean to cut you off, but this is... Okay, speaking on that about... believing that a nigga ain't shit before you even for real see the nigga ain't shit. There was this thing on Instagram the other day. It was a girl talking. Shout out to my boy Finessers Only. They were having a conversation about getting to know. Like, she was speaking from a female's perspective, so she was saying you got to get to know a nigga's family, how he was raised, if he watched his mom get beat on, you know what I'm saying, all that shit, because it's almost guaranteed that he's gonna repeat that cycle. And she was saying, if I find out that a nigga watched his mama get beat on, or if I find out that he did certain other things or whatever, I'm not fucking with him because I know that he's gonna be like that. And my thing is, I don't agree with that because some people have a reverse reaction to that type of shit. Like, I saw my mama get beat on, so I don't want anybody else that I love to have to go through that. So I'm going to make sure that, you know, I'm the right kind of man to not beat on women and, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of shit. And I also feel like I feel like everybody deserves a fair chance. Yeah. At least once. Yeah. Like, if you give a nigga a chance, you know what I'm saying, and then he shows you, okay, this is what I'm about to turn into, then, okay, yeah, get the fuck on. But you can't just prejudge people and automatically be like, okay, this is what you saw or whatever, so I'm not fucking with you because this is what you're going to turn into, because that's what has niggas afraid to open up in the first place, because they already feel like, okay, if I tell this bitch what's going on with me, then she's going to make an assumption and think that she knows how to play me or knows how to treat me, and it doesn't even make sense for me to even try to be shit to her in the first place if I can't even fucking have a safe space with this bitch.
Right. As soon as you show me that this who you think I am, I'm gonna be there time 10. That's just how niggas be. Okay, I'm already convicted. Yeah.
Right.
So you know this shit in the nigga nature to do some of this shit that you think I'm doing.
Right.
So I'm just being real. So it's like a nigga gonna just, bruh, this shit's fucked up.
I'm gonna tell you, it's
fucked up.
It is relevant what a person has been through in their upbringing, right?
Definitely.
It is. But their understanding of what happened to them determines how they turn out. So it's not just, oh, you went through that, so you're going to be like this. It's what is your understanding of what you went through? How did you process what you saw with your mother or your father or, you know, whoever was raising you, grandma, whatever the household looked like? How did you process that? How is that relevant to you as an adult? You know, what are you doing with those experiences? Right. And this is why we need to go back to fucking dating. Yeah. We need to go back to getting to know one another. But like I always say, raw sex feels so good. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. We just, you know, we talk about, oh, you need to wrap it up. Oh, you're going to get pregnant. What about STDs? But we skip over, like, you got to tell the human and program the mind to understand sugar tastes sweet. So this where the real discipline lie. It ain't in knowing what the consequences are. It's in knowing the exact shit that's gonna feel good and deciding that I'm gonna do different or I'm gonna, you know, shy away from that until we get to know each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in our upbringing,
no, she said what she's saying is right.
She's saying the right shit. Right. But basically, all the shit boiled down to, man, mental illness, bro. Everything. Everybody fucked up a little bit. So how you gonna get with another motherfucker that's fucked up and both of y'all fucked up? It ain't gonna work out.
Trauma bonded.
You gotta get some help. We gotta get some help first.
It is, but for me, the root is in our upbringing, right?
Exactly.
Like, you can overcome, you know, anything you've been through based on understanding that shit. Really looking at the traumas, how it affected you, the beliefs that was programmed into you, your paradigms and shit about life. But the other part of it is, we don't want to be real that there's a problem with the way we're being raised. Exactly. Y'all know in our community, old folks don't want you to tell them they did shit wrong. They want to pass on, I did the best I could on everything.
With what I had.
With everything. And it's like, so it makes generations after them not be able to confront shit. So niggas and bitches is walking around with mental health issues.
They don't even know.
If I go to therapy,
undiagnosed.
If I go to therapy and even start talking about this, and you know, they start bringing up things from my childhood, pulling it out of me, I got the damn fight with mama. She gonna damn near want to knock me out. You know, even as an adult, because I'm saying things that makes her feel some type of way. Yeah. Exactly. Her ass needs some therapy too.
Because she don't even know how to control her emotions.
Generation.
And then that all goes back to accountability too, because the whole not taking nothing away from older people or no shit like that, but I did the best of what I could when I had and all that shit, that kind of negates accountability.
Yeah, it does.
Because that's the excuse
if we keep
for
it real,
the accountability.
It does. And I'm going to tell y'all, like when I was growing up, you couldn't tell grown people they was lying, even if they was lying. You could know that they flat out telling the lie. You're going to get popped in your motherfucking mouth if you say that. So it's like, from a young age, we was trained to like fuck with flaw shit. If you raised in one of them households, well, they might not be
coming from certain people.
What I'm saying is, they never gonna call themselves flaw. But we've seen a lot of flaw shit out of older people. Like, auntie, I know you lying. But if I say, auntie, you lying, now I'm finna get a whoop.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get my ass beat for saying what's real. And you
Real
can't,
shit.
even if you didn't say the word lying, if you just tried to say auntie fibbing, you in trouble. Cause grown people ain't never wrong. You know what's the stigma, right?
No, like I told one time before, I told my grandma, like, it's just like you inherit being a hater too. Cause I used to see my grandma like, motherfucker. I'm telling you, bro. I like, as I get old, I realize that was hate.
They call it grown folk business.
Yeah.
Get out the kitchen, it's grown.
And then they doing something because they painting on their porch.
Listen, y'all talking about people,
You see a
man.
motherfucker
Y'all
getting a
ain't on no
stove
grown
in.
folk shit.
By the time she got a new stove, that raggedy motherfucker, she got them. She need to be cooking outside. It's hate, baby. Why you hating on the lady stove, man?
Yep. But you could never say that. You could never come out
no,
like
better
and
not.
say what you see. And the other thing is, and I say this all the time, like I do Zooms and shit, just talking to people like about confronting where they get their ways from. Growing up, you can tell your parents is at odds. They separated or whatever. You know, you can see from the energy. My mama don't really fuck with my daddy no more. My daddy don't fuck with my mama. And then when you go around them, you got to be fake. When I go with daddy, I can't say certain shit about mama. I can't act excited about certain shit. When I'm with mama, I can't act excited or, act like I'm too in my feelings about my daddy because she gonna give me the energy like I'm aggravating her.
And that shit be fucked up, especially like on kids because
You sick,
kids
flawed
don't
fuck.
even really
You 6
understand
years
how
old,
to
flawed
totally
in the bitch
process
already.
that.
Yeah,
Like-
you know you want to say, Ma, I want to go with my daddy, but she gonna give you a certain energy. Or hell, if you fuck with some of these new age mamas,
You ain't
they
gonna get no
fuck-
McDonald's
Yeah,
or, you know
fuck
what
your
I'm saying,
dad.
some
Nobody
shit
don't give
like
a
that.
fuck about mom. My
not-
daddy said he gonna take me here. Fuck your dad. I don't want to hear that shit.
That nigga lying. When was the last time he took you anywhere?
Yeah. So now I'm around my mama acting like I don't fuck with my daddy like that.
Yeah.
Go with my daddy. Don't say too much about my mama. You see what I'm saying? Like
And then by the time you get alone away from both of them, you crazy as hell.
flawed in the bitch. We be 6, 7 flawed in the bitch.
Nah, that's facts. Cause a woman will tell you, if a nigga just say, I don't want to be in a relationship no more, she'll tell them kids, he left us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Talk
now
about it.
nigga be like, why my dad, like so many niggas in this world feel like, why my daddy leave me? No, bro, I left this bitch because she was crazy and I know I was gonna end up doing the wrong shit.
Yep.
Right.
Now
But
that I
you
know-
know, you can't say that. You know, all single mothers got a deadbeat baby daddy, and they all went through some damsel in distress struggle that he left them with. I'm so over that shit. I see that shit and I be like, these bitches got to think we retarded to keep believing this narrative. Like we seeing hoes outright trap niggas. We seeing bitches outright crazy as fuck and niggas is walking away from them. And them bitches making it, well, you gonna walk away from the child too if you leave me alone. We seeing the parental alienation. We seeing hoes like.
And another thing too is a lot of these niggas are not legitimized, so they technically don't have rights. And then even the ones that
don't
have
wanna deal
rights
with them
don't
folks.
want to go to court.
Bro, I don't want to even go
It's
through the
like-
mix of that. I ain't finna try to take my name down to the courthouse to sue for the baby. I ain't making no excuse for a nigga that don't take care of his kid. You know what I'm saying? You find a way. You find a way to goddamn put yourself on something. I don't know.
Right.
Listen,
what I'm saying
I'm gonna tell you on that one point though. For a lot of men, because I'm in the trenches with their ass, I disagree.
No,
it's a lot. What I'm saying is, it's a lot of niggas that they got the same narrative that I'm saying. If as a woman, if me and you had a baby, I could keep you from that baby if I wanted to.
But you how?
If you want,
If it's a way though.
listen,
it's a way to get
but I'm
to
finna
your baby.
listen, especially if you in the streets and you still currently in the streets, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, nigga,
We know how to keep a baby from a nigga.
Yeah.
Like we gotta stop pretending like we don't know this shit. Bro, we have a baby right now. You do me wrong. I can't get out my feelings, nigga. I'll make it where you never see this jit again. And I know hoes right now, they gonna tell your ass that's what they do. They don't give a fuck. Nigga don't wanna be with me. Nigga, you ain't finna be around my baby. It's finna be my baby. And anytime somebody bring you up, I'm gonna paint your ass to be a deadbeat. Even though you willing to pull up and give money, buy shoot, like you said, I ain't willing to get in front of them crackers and put myself out there because I'm knowing my baby mama get too upset. She'll tell them I still sell dope.
Yeah.
But bro, come on now. We got to start being honest about this shit. Same way we willing to be real
Them facts.
that it's some deadbeat ass niggas. It's some hoes by the masses on this bullshit.
Overly.
What you think caused that though? Like, what you think caused them to be like that?
It go back to programming from let me put it like this, right? When you raised in a household,
Fatherlessness.
yes, thank you.
I'll go back to that, right?
Single mother-headed households produce the worst product. And I'm gonna tell y'all, like so as a young girl, you being raised as no daddy around. You don't know what it feels like to get correction or, you know, be in the presence of a man as an authority figure. When you can have a man around, like your mama could have a man around or your daddy could have been around, but if he's not allowed to have influence, like make decisions without your mama.
Yeah, because I got a daddy, I don't act like that.
Yeah, and without your mama putting your 2 cents when a man make decisions, you ain't got no daddy around if he ain't have influence, right? So that's what I mean by fatherlessness. A nigga might be round, like your mama might have had a boyfriend or a stepdaddy, but that nigga couldn't tell y'all shit without her putting her 2 cents, or your daddy really couldn't make no decisions for y'all without your mama speaking on it. Fatherlessness. All that shit is fatherlessness. So if you're a young girl and you raise your whole upbringing, 17, 18 years, you don't know what it feel like to be in the presence of a man that has some authority. How you gonna feel comfortable with this shit out in the world? This is why we end up struggling as young ladies trying to process and like feel comfortable around y'all. I feel like a nigga trying to control you. Feel like you're trying to tell me what to do. Feel like you're trying to use your money to do. It's a lot of shit we misperceive, or we take it the wrong way because we don't know what it feel like to have a daddy that say, this is the decision as a man, and ain't no woman coming and put her 2 cents on it, right? Then you only seeing how a woman solves and processes and run the household. This your programming. It's conditioning. Now flip the same shit to a young boy. You 16, 17, fully grown in your build, but you only ever saw a woman run shit. You only ever saw your mama, decide how stuff gonna go in the household. And we nurture her. So a lot of times women don't even realize all that fussing, the way you handling your son, you fucking him up. And we think because a bitch get grown, get a job, and they paying their bills that we did a good job. Meanwhile, like you said, a bitch working a job psychologically fucked up. Mental health issues like a motherfucker, but you get your check, you go home, you pay your bills, like the average American living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe a little bit above that, but you got issues when it come down to character, when it come down to conflict resolution skills, when it come down to compromise.
That's why you can't get along with Miss Pam and all that other shit.
And this is why it's a lot of niggas that they not gay. They heterosexual males. They are attracted to women, but they can't stand a fucking woman.
Hold up. Say it one more time.
It's a lot of niggas that come from this fatherlessness that on the surface, like, I ain't gay, I'm not attracted to men, I'm a heterosexual male, but I can't stand bitches. Like, I pursue them with the intent to fuck and engage with your physical.
I can see
but
that.
talking to you hoes,
like, bitch, make me sick.
Yes.
Bitch, you make me sick. Like, shut
because
the
of his
fuck
mama.
up.
Because
Just
of his
shut
mama.
the fuck up. I don't want to hear shit you got. Shut the fuck up, man.
I just
That's how that
to
shit
this
be,
shit
though.
18
I'm
years.
a lot of bitches you can't even talk to. Like, I can't even talk to you.
And you can't attract you. I'm finna tell you something.
Being 100.
Yeah, no, he ain't lying. He ain't fucking lying.
It done been plenty of people they try to. What we gonna talk to her about?
Yep.
Like, that's why you see mostly women. Like, men, I can't. Like, I don't want to show this side because you can get really frustrated. That feeling like, damn, you actually think like this?
Yeah.
That shit fuck you up.
Bro,
like shit you can't fathom.
You can't penetrate. She ain't gonna let you influence her. When you look at the family unit that she go get advice from, when y'all talk or have y'all problems, it's all women. None of them ain't got no man. Nobody ain't got no successful marriage. Every bit of what's driving her has to do with being independent while she's saying she want to be in a relationship with you. So then what you do is I start watching you more than I pay attention to myself. So I'm watching all your moves, how you is with your phone, your schedule, just looking for shit because I can't sit with my own thoughts.
It's cold. It's cold.
And then I'm telling you, when you a lot of these grown men coming from single mother-headed households, they ain't have no father during their upbringing, no actual male influence. You get to the point where you realize, like, I be wanting to slap the shit out of a bitch. Like, because from my perspective, like, I don't know how to really process as a man, and she acting like a man. Niggas, and men know this. Y'all run out of words out to a certain extent.
Yes.
Like in an argument, a nigga gonna reach that cap.
Cause you already done touched me. You done touch me like your words done touch me like a lick.
Yeah.
See, some niggas be fucked up to the point where they don't know how to control themselves either.
Yep.
The best thing to do, where the camera at? The best thing to do is eject yourself from that situation.
Yes.
Because you're not going to be able to, if you know you can't control certain emotions, you got to remove yourself.
Yep.
That's the best way.
And then
because the back and forth is only going to escalate.
Because
every
I'm
time.
going to tell you, women, we could go for days at arguments. We come up with clever shit, make up shit, take shit out of our imagination, whatever.
Most men can't
think
that
nigga
far.
ain't processing shit that fast. They run out of words. So now it's like he said, if you don't leave, and the way these women are nowadays.
I'm out of words, so bitch, I'm finna make you shut up.
Yep. And then you got a lot of women, they don't realize this nigga out of words. So you ain't saying nothing, you trying to leave. Now she challenging you even more. Cause a bitch thinking she a nigga. The independent boss shit got you believing to a grown ass man, damn near 2 times your size, you finna make him do something. This is when you see niggas walking away and a bitch following behind them, poking him in the back of the head. Pussy ass nigga, you gon' do X, Y, Z.
Oh my God. Oh, bless her soul.
Come on now. The man running. The
Bless
man
her
was
soul,
running
man.
Bless
her soul.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Bang? Protect her at all
Man,
costs.
protect. God bless her soul. Somebody need to fix her. You walk around saying those
bro, I'm
words.
gonna tell y'all some shit. I had a family member one time, right?
Run from
Listen, I had a family member, she arguing with a dude. So, and I was real young, so I'm just watching them argue. So it get to the point where I can see he ran out of words. I didn't know that's what this was back then, but he went to walking down the sidewalk. He like, fuck this shit, I'm finna leave. She following him. She pushing him. She selling out. She yelling real loud. It was like you seen something click, and that nigga turned around and he just started chasing her. He never could get to her. Like she running, he never could get to her. When I tell you he beat that car up, he beat the car up. He was punching. It was like, but I watched her push him to that point. Like, and I'm like, bro, and I'm knowing like this family, so I'm knowing this nigga don't got no real father figures in his life. Men teach men how to process anger. Women don't teach men this because we don't know.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly, them facts.
You got to get that shit from a man. And when you a black man in America, you have to have a mature, positive black male role model, like help you process and understand what you are.
Can't have
because anger look different on y'all.
Yeah.
Like, listen, my
A
boy,
black man mad don't look like a white man mad or an Asian man mad
It's
or
not
fucking.
the
It
same.
don't look the same, bro. Do you realize you black? How tall you? Bro, what you look like angry don't look like no other shit.
Yeah.
It just looks
Right.
scary.
You
You're
look
right.
like a
No,
menace.
you're right.
They'll shoot your ass and lock you the fuck
Right.
up based on how it
You
look.
see how they just did Croy Bierman? This nigga said he didn't even remember his kids. He was yelling and screaming at the police. They didn't do shit. If that would have been a nigga.
You can't be
man,
afraid to
please.
be raw with your boy. That's why my boys, I made sure I stayed around them forever, no matter what I went through in my relationship, whatever. Fuck that.
Right.
I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These niggas grown up, but they processing shit different. Like, bro, all the time you were calling me a bitch, I was being a bitch.
Yeah.
You gotta let niggas know, bro.
Yeah.
That's. I'm not saying you're a bitch, but you acting
Like a bitch. Yep.
That's some
You
bitch
come
ass
from me,
shit
so
you
you're not a
doing.
bitch.
Yeah.
But you acting like a
Right
bitch.
now
How
you
you
acting,
doing your
right.
face and
Yep.
shit? Just say what you want to say, nigga.
Right.
You making your face expression. That's what your mama do. You
Right,
not a bitch.
right.
You a nigga.
Yep. But you have to teach boys. Boys have
Straight
to
up.
be, yeah, that you saying some real shit. Boys have to be taught to process what's happening with them and articulate it or walk the fuck away and go see about themselves.
Yeah.
And when you ain't been raised to do this, like we'll eat you up.
And you gotta
we
know
will
that
tie
your emotions
ass
is the
up
same
in a
though.
relationship.
Like your emotions and feelings are the same, but you gotta be able to channel yours because you're a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Women, all right,
we
I
can
get
get
it.
away with a lot more.
You got okay. But that's acting like a bitch. Okay,
Yeah.
if she said something out of her mouth that she couldn't control because it was her mouth, that's what bitches do.
Yeah.
How you
Yep.
doing this?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So we
Yeah.
gotta make that shit look like some bitch shit to these niggas. Like, bro, y'all niggas arguing with a bitch. We don't do
Yep.
that.
So
But bro, and throughout your whole upbringing, if you never had no men to show you that this is woman behavior, this all you seen, it's a fact children model what they see.
Facts.
So it get to a point where you know you a boy, but I got so many of my mama ways because it ain't never been no men
Because
consistently
you've never seen
around.
anything to the contrary.
Yes. And you can't, the thing is, how can you argue with this shit? Like your son that you raised that only has ever seen you problem solve. You and how you are with emotions, with running a household, with just certain shit with family, your decision making. He gonna grow up and make decisions like a bitch. And women, we be knowing this, we just don't want to admit our accountability in it. So we will say, it's a lot of bitch ass niggas in the dating pool. It's piss in the dating pool. These niggas be acting like hoes. What's wrong with these niggas? But then like when I want to talk about where they got it from, why these niggas got these problems,
They're not ready for
we don't
that.
want to talk about that. No, you can't talk about single mamas. No, don't talk about that.
Some of the mamas be trying to be real though, cause I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I told, cause my wife she get to my boy raw, like. But then I had to break it down and flip it on, and then I feel like this when she finally got it. The shit you teach your boys not to go for, you want me to go for.
Mm.